Hello, and welcome back to the Kuriboh Championship Cup. This will be Season 6, and I know it's been a while since I've last uploaded, but the new season started up, and figured this is a good time as any to get back into the swing of things. So the first week, I am going up against Eevee, coach of the St. Louis Cyber Dragons. And yeah, so let us look at the matchup. Eevee, once again, drafting salads. This time with adventures, code talkers, plunder patrols, ABC, Gunkin Shoeship, and gadgets. With my draft, this season I picked up Scareclaw, Crusadia, Marincess, Mech Lords, Dustin, Ice Jade, Ice Barriers, and S-Force. Once again, going for my blowbacks, going second. Staples, Eevee staples being Pot of Desires, Triple Tactics, Dimensional Fissure, Firewall Dragon, and Singularity, and Mind Control. So, looking at this matchup, I see that he is playing, like I said, salads. I think that is probably his best deck. That he's most comfortable with, so gotta prepare for that. I think he might lead off of it. I feel like he's going to bring Plunder Patrol, and then either like maybe Code Talkers or Gunkin Shoeship. I don't really think ABC/Union is all that strong, at least against my draft. So going into this, I am planning to lead off with Marincess, hopefully get into the salads and set it up so that his monsters will be water if I am going first. And then follow up with Crusadia and Scareclaw, my two strongest decks, besides Marincess, that is, for strong blowback, as well as if he does not play salads first, or if he is also playing Code Talkers. Crusadia is pretty good into link-based decks, especially ones that point to my zones. So yeah, let us go into the replays. Maybe in the future I might do live commentary. But for now, I will be doing post-com. And yeah, so I am going to go with Marincess first. And he decides to go with Adams, Shoeship, or Adventure, not Adams, Adventure, Shoeship, and I will go into Marincess. So let us get into this. He actually won Rock, Paper, Scissors, but made me go first. I will use Tremlet to special summon the Pascal. Instead of just summon the Pascal, because this way, if I do, I will begin a search for another Marincess. I can use that normal summon for that, in case he has some kind of way of interrupting me right here. I will still have that play. Of course, getting the blue slug to return Pascals, and well as using Mandarin to get and standard Marincess combo. Just link climbing into triangle. Kind of forgot with triangle to get the trap card, which is kind of a blunder on my part, but it is somewhat fine because I do get the Stealth Kraken water lock, hoping to see if he is playing salads, mess that up, but he was not, as well as the negate with Argonaut. And yeah, I will pass off to his turn. I will let him get the draw because a draw isn't that powerful. It could be anything. And like I assumed right, best not to hit the goblin because there are more powerful spells that he could use, such as this right, which I will negate, as well as get Anemone for follow-up if he tries to get rid of my board. He does get Dark Ruler no more, which is free this season, negating my board, but my monsters are still pretty powerful. but he has to use most of his resources to get rid of my board. And I am set up pretty nicely for my follow-up turn. I do use Triangle from Graveyard to climb into Marble Rock, as well as Foolish Barrel to the Ice Barrier, so that I can get the basically dump Ice Jade Ran Archer into the grave and then add it, and then I basically get the free tuner summon for Jaimer, I don't know how to pronounce that, as well as still a lot of follow-up with Marincus summoning Pascal with the spell, and then like climbing to get the Crystal Heart protection into the Great Bubble Reef, and summon the Triangle by discarding the Seahorse. And I am basically set up pretty well for the following turns. Getting the draw and setting up a big boss monster, which I highly doubt that he can get over very well. As well as protection with the Ice Jade Synchro monster. And he basically just gets the token and can't really do anything, so he scoops. Going into game 2 of the second set. He does decide to go first this time, which is fine because, like usual, if you saw my staples, I do like going second a lot. Do have a nice Marincus hand with Seahorse with Blue Tang and Pescoa, as well as a Signet mining to search for any other Marincus that I could possibly need. This time, with him going first, he does get the nice board set up with the Sioux ship, Dreadnought, and Carrier, as well as the Griffin negate, but I do have the Kaijus, which is nice, getting rid of that negate, and yeah, I can summon Pascal, some Blue Tang effect, and start the Marincus Link Climb. This time I do have the Doggeran and the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber because I did think I would go second. And it's really good to see those Kaijus. And yeah, this time I do not forget to use the Triangle to get the wave. And once again climb into Argonaut. This time summoning my Kaiju and using Argonaut to bounce my Kaiju that I summoned to his field and my other, so that I can then Kaiju him again, which is a fun little combo that you can do with this set. And I do continue to form a stronger board with the Kraken, and I will be clearing his board, leaving up the Kaiju because I can't really do much with that. Here I do make the mistake because I thought that would stop its activation. I will now know for future reference that continuous spells will have to wait for after they're played and to be activated to negate them. He does try and illegal knight me, but I will waves to protect my monsters. So he will be basically giving me the legal knight for free. And he scoops because I still have a lot of pieces to start comboing up. And this means I have won the first set. Going into the second set, I do decide to bring mainly Crusadia with a small Scareclaw package because this time I do think since he did not play Salmon Greats first, he will play it second. And Crusadia is good into his Link decks. Because even if he somehow negates like a first summon, he does have a zone that I can special summon my Crusadia monsters to usually. This time he did win Rock Paper Scissors again and decides to go first, which is probably a good idea. Usually, my decks so far have not been set up for the blind second right off the bat. They do have a mix of going first and going second cards. and he does set up the Heat Soul and the Raging Phoenix. I do try and bait out the Roar. I do know he set that, so I do this Scare Claw play where I go into Light Heart or Licht Heart. Yeah, to bait out that so that I can do my Crusadia plays and start climbing. Does get the draw off of Heat Soul, and here I do have a very fun play for you guys. The reason why I mainly picked up Parallel Exceed is so that I can get 2 level 4s on the board, and then with the Erebora I can link climb into a Synchro 11, and this is also why I sort of picked up Ice Barriers, is so that I can use the 2 4s and the 3 to make Trishula to banish 3 of his cards. I decide to leave up his field spell because I feel like that is the least impactful card he has. I do make a mistake in that last turn, though. Instead of attacking with just Trishula and Crusadia Regulix, I could have linked off into the Scareclaw Link 3 and bring back the monster in my grave, as well as search for the one that allows me to attack equal to the amount of defense positions, and I could have knocked him out there, but it is only week 1, still learning what my decks can do. And yeah, so maybe this could come to bite me in the butt, but hopefully it will not, because I do have follow-up with the Crusadia Crawler. Like I said, really good into his Link decks, because he will most likely end on a Link monster pointing to my zone, and I can use that to search for World Legacy Succession. I believe that's the one that special summons a monster from the grave to a Link point. And yeah, get the power for later. And yeah, using Erebora to protect my Regulix, as well as summon a Crawler to get the Succession. And then I can follow up into Ecomax, getting my last Parallel Exceed, as well as summon Magistus to be able to knock out him over his Flash Mage. So won the first game. Set 2, very nice, looking good for me. Once again, siding in my going second cards, which is really nice. If I was going first with this hand, it would not have been good. But once again, he does opt to go first, since he does want to try and set up a very strong board against me. I do Ghost Mourner his Balinks, because I do not want him searching that field spell. Very dangerous if he does get that off. But lucky for me, I do stop that. But he still does get into Phoenix. However, he does not get the search for the counter trap. And here I do have a way. How did I special summon? Oh yeah, because it just higher than me. For some reason, I'm thinking 3,000. He had to have higher than 3,000. Yep, just bounce his special summon monster and then start Crusading Link climbing, getting the Crawler for follow-up plays, because I do not think I can OTK him with this hand. And yeah, hit him with the Equimax and then set 3. As long as he did not draw his Kaiju, which he did, I was sitting quite pretty. But even with him Kaijuing that, I'm pretty sure that I will not be OTK'd back, due to Crawler, as well as doing a trick with Vanguard into an opponent's Link deck, with Erebora as well for protection. And he will once again Link climb into Raging Phoenix with his Salads, as well as make Updeep Jammer. And then he will Link climb into Borolo Dragon, which apparently we have free. I did not know that. He will take over his Kaiju. I will do that to set up Draco, for a future turn, because I know I will be living this turn due to the fact that I do have this caller that I can summon and protect with Erebora, as well as set up future turn with Royal Legacy Succession. So he did get rid of my board, but I do have Alpha, and I do draw a second one, which is real nice, and I can bounce back his two Problem Childs, and then summon two more and try and pop his other Link monster, and then he scoops, because this is basically game with Succession in hand, and once again, Link climbing. Which means I do win that second set, which means I do win the week. But of course, we will do the third set for differential, because it could matter for playoffs. And this time I am bringing Scareclaw with a small Crusadia engine this time, because I feel like it is my strongest deck besides the Marincess. Activate the field spell. Basically, any Scareclaw plays, get the Lictart. He does get the Pendulum Synchro, which I feel like there are better ones to get. But it is fun. Do Scareclaw things, summon the Lictart to an area where I can special summon Maximus, and then get the Triheart. And then summon the two monsters and get the search. I do make a mistake there. I should have popped his list with my field spell. Once again, first week, still somewhat getting accustomed to the decks. Maybe that might come to bite me in the end, but we will see. I do realize after the fact that I should have done the pop first, but still use it later. Set it up to return the field spell to my hand for future turns, because once again I know I will not be OHKOing, and maybe bait out a negate. Lictart or Triheart is pretty strong. He would need a spell to get rid of it, which he does happen to have with the Dragon Steed. Kind of unfortunate, but I do not believe that he could OHKO me. If he did, that would have been unfortunate. But he is also first week stolen in the deck, so I was confident that that would not happen. And yeah, he sets it up and just gets rid of my Scareclaw monster. I do activate the field spell, baiting the negate from the Griffin. Go to battle, get rid of my monster so that I can evenly match. Basically get rid of everything but his tokens. And then I can start doing Scareclaw Link climbing plays. Get into another Triheart, summon my monsters, get the piercing one, get the multi-attack one. But I am past the battle phase, but I feel like he has used up most of his resources. With his one draw and two tokens on the field, I do believe that he cannot get past me. And he does start a bunch of comboing, leading to nothing though. And once again, I win the first game of the third set. And going into the next game, it is looking like I am going to have a clean sweep of this week. So once again, I do believe that he will be going first, trying to set up a board that I cannot break. So once again, I side in my board breakers. So I lead off with Kaiju Slumber, giving him the Gamma Seal as I take the Dogeron. In future, though, I probably should give him the Flame Kaiju, because most likely the monsters will be going into defense position. And it would be better to attack into the lower flying Kaiju's defense stat for more damage, but I will still pop Sea Turtle Gamma Seal instead and attack 3 times for game. And yeah, that is week 1, 6-0. Next week I will be going into Onyx, coach of the Dragon Maids, who did not have a very strong week 1, but once again, week 1 does not mean anything. Actually, he did win week 1. Never mind, I am wrong. He did have, he went 4-2, and it is going to be an interesting matchup. So catch you for that. Hopefully next week the episode will go up. See you then. Bye-bye.